I've been in love with him for 20 years.
You never told me.
Bad rumor that y'all broke up. Who did that?
You never told me.
Yeah, it's so good to see Toni and Birdman sitting together and being together. You know, he was trying to talk about them. But just a reminder, I am not planning the wedding.
That hard side all the time. To be swaying on a low.
Every now and then.
Why would I have to be so?
It's putting your guard. I can always overstand the woman that's what I'm gonna do.
Y'all, imagine this asterisk you walk down the aisle, say, I do, and before the wedding cake's even gone stale, you're filling out divorce papers. Sounds like reality TV, right?
Nope.
That's real life for Toni Braxton and Birdman. Yep, Mr. Put Some Respect on My Name himself tied the knot, only to untie it 2 days later. Before anybody jumps to conclusions, no, this isn't about Birdman's questionable habit of kissing Lil Wayne on the lips. No shade, no judgment. There's a lot more bubbling beneath the surface here. Something messy, something strategic, something that might not have been about love at all. Because what's being whispered online? It's a cocktail of alleged trickery, business moves disguised as romance, and even rumors about Birdman's double life, all sprinkled with Tamar's cryptic breadcrumbs that have fans connecting dots fast. Toni Braxton and Birdman secretly got married on August 8th, 2024. No fanfare, no red carpet, no social media rollout, just quiet idos. Then 2 days later, August 10th, Toni listed that as their official separation date. Yup. Just 48 hours of matrimony. 2 weeks later, she filed for divorce, calling the marriage irretrievably broken. No drama, no public fight, just paperwork, cold and clean. But here's where it gets juicy. A few months later, Toni dismissed the divorce and Birdman even signed off. So what really happened? Were they working things out? Or was the whole marriage just smoke and mirrors? Because if you've been following this duo since their on-again, off-again roller coaster started back in 2016, you already know nothing about them ever made much sense. Still, in 2018, Birdman made it official with a $5 million yellow diamond engagement.
Pieces of jewelry, that $5 million engagement rings from Birdman, honey, just gone, honey. So Toni Braxton is trying to get her engagement ring back. Now, on one of the questions I want to know.
Ring, a flex only he could pull off. And yet, the wedding we got years later barely lasted a weekend. The wedding, y'all, was like a moving target. Every time fans thought it was finally happening, boom, delayed, postponed, or rescheduled for better timing. At least that's what Toni said. But the internet wasn't buying it. Folks were in the comments like, girl, he is not the one. Then came the major red flag. Toni didn't just misplace her ring, she lost it. And not just any ring, a $5 million engagement ring, gone somewhere between takeoff and landing on a flight. The bag turned up later, but the ring vanished. Poof. And the wild part? Birdman didn't even blink. No outrage, no side-eye, no how you lose $5 million? Just total calm, like it was nothing. That's when fans really started side-eyeing the whole situation. Because at that point, everyone was asking the same question. Was this relationship ever real? And honestly, part of me can't help but wonder, was that ring even real? 'Cause $5 million ain't something you just misplace.
I'm engaged. He did good, right?
Well, right? Very well. He did good. But there's no date.
There's no date. We almost had a date. Well, we had 2 dates, but we were doing Braxton Family Values and we were going through a little drama, and I was like, okay, the wedding is a good thing to get all of us sisters.
By 2019, things between Toni Braxton and Birdman were already unraveling. The couple unfollowed each other on Instagram, and Birdman even posted, "It's over," before later claiming it was all for publicity. So the question became, was this ever real love, or just content for the cameras? Apparently, Tamar Braxton knows the real story. She hasn't come out and said everything directly, but she's been just cryptic enough to keep fans guessing. Let's rewind to that whirlwind marriage. Toni officially filed for divorce just 2 weeks after saying, "I do," calling the marriage irretrievably broken. That's legal talk for, this can't be fixed, I'm out. But what's wild is how quiet everything was. No messy cheating scandals, no public arguments, no drama-filled headlines. It was like she had second thoughts immediately after signing the papers, and then months later, she quietly dismissed the divorce like it never happened. One minute she's saying he's not her type, and the next she's back to asterisk, I love me some him. Asterisk, so what changed? Fans think something went down behind the scenes in those 48 hours that flipped everything upside down. According to Tamar, this wasn't just a bad decision, it was a strategic one. She never spilled every detail, but she's dropped enough breadcrumbs for fans to connect the dots. Tamar has posted about women settling for safety instead of love, and even mentioned people trying to lock down relationships when their partners weren't ready. It didn't take long before fans started speculating that Toni's quick marriage might have been about something other than romance, maybe financial security, estate protection, or simply a move made out of vulnerability. Some online even believe Toni may have strategically convinced Birdman to say yes, and Tamar's subtle comments make it sound like she might agree. The timeline doesn't help either. Quick wedding, quick split, quick silence. It all feels a little too neat, almost like she just wanted that last name and the stability that came with it. But here's where things take a left turn. The Birdman and Lil Wayne factor. Every time Birdman's name comes up, so does that infamous footage of him kissing Lil Wayne on the lips. And not once, but multiple times across multiple years. Some people brush it off as a father and son type bond. Others think it looks a little more intimate. Now, nobody's here to judge, but in hip-hop culture, that's not something that goes unnoticed. So when Tamar started dropping hints that Birdman's loyalty might not have been fully with Toni, people began connecting the dots. The internet started buzzing. Was Birdman on the DL? Was this marriage a lavender setup to clean up his public image? And that theory gets even deeper when you consider Toni's health. She's been fighting lupus for years and has faced serious, even life-threatening complications. When you're dealing with a chronic illness, things like money, estate planning, and long-term stability start to matter a lot more. So here's a theory that's been floating around. Maybe Toni didn't marry Birdman for love. Maybe she did it for security. Not emotional, but financial. To make sure her family would be taken care of if anything ever happened to her. Birdman has money, power, and connections, and he's been there through some of her hardest moments. Toni once said in an interview that every night, Birdman would ask her, asterisk, are you okay? Are you good? Asterisk, so maybe, just maybe, the marriage wasn't about romance. It was about stability, control, and peace of mind. Tamar's hinted at this too, reminding people that Toni has always had a sharp business sense. So the real question is, was this marriage built on love or survival? Now let's circle back to that $5 million engagement ring. The one that vanished into thin air. After their 2018 engagement, Toni boarded a flight, and somewhere mid-trip, the ring disappeared. The bag turned up, but the ring was gone. You'd expect fireworks after that kind of loss, right? But Birdman didn't flinch. No yelling, no accusations, no meltdown. He just told her, asterisk, it's all good. I'll get you another one. Because nobody just shrugs off losing $5 million worth of diamonds, especially not in a relationship already full of question marks. People started wondering if the ring was even real, or if the entire engagement was just part of an image. Looking back, that moment feels like a turning point, like neither of them was fully invested anymore if they ever truly were. And here's the real kicker. According to Tamar, Toni was never deeply in love with Birdman. She respected him, she cared about him, and she appreciated his support during her lupus battle, but that passionate, once-in-a-lifetime, forever kind of love? Fans never saw it. Even when they were together, Toni rarely looked happy in public. She dodged wedding questions in interviews, kept things vague, and barely posted about Birdman on social media. And when she did, the posts often disappeared later. Some say she was emotionally caught between her past with Carrie Lewis, motherhood, and the pressure to settle with someone who seemed stable on paper. And according to Tamar, that pressure might have pushed Toni into something that was never meant to last. Because when you look at the timeline, married August 8th, separated August 10th, that's not cold feet. That's a full-blown sprint out the door. Sources even claim Birdman ghosted Toni right after the wedding. She filed for divorce 2 weeks later, but by then, the damage was done. And if Tamar's alleged comments are true, Birdman might have seen or felt something during those 2 days that made him back away, fast. Some insiders even claim Birdman thought the wedding was more symbolic than legal, like a gesture, not a contract. So, when he realized Toni was serious about making it official, he backed out faster than anyone expected. Tamar didn't outright confirm it, but she's hinted plenty, saying Toni moved quick and Birdman moved quicker in the opposite direction. Now, this whole situation fits right into a larger conversation about relationships. How women sometimes settle for safe men over soulful ones, and how having a provider doesn't always mean having a partner. And let's be real, Toni Braxton's marriage checked every one of those boxes. Tamar's shade didn't feel messy this time. It felt like tough love. The kind of thing you say when you're done watching your big sister make the same mistake over and over again. And honestly, she's not the only one who saw it coming. Fans have been calling out the red flags since star 2018 but Toni kept saying it was complicated. Now here's where it gets interesting because people are asking, was the marriage even real? Or was it just a storyline? Remember, Braxton family values made a name off those big, dramatic reveals. And what's more dramatic than a secret wedding? The timing was too perfect. No photos, no honeymoon, no genuine just married energy. Just a quiet wedding followed by a loud breakup. And when you trace the timeline, every major moment in their relationship seemed to happen right before a Braxton project dropped. Coincidence? Some say yes. Most say absolutely not. That's why fans now believe this entire marriage might have been about managing images, not emotions. A deal where Toni protected her brand, Birdman protected his, and the audience got a front row seat to the illusion of love. Some believe Toni married Birdman to cement her legacy and secure her estate. Others think Birdman said yes to silence years of rumors, especially whispers about him being on the DL. And then there's the boldest theory of all, that this was a lavender marriage, a mutual arrangement where both sides got something they needed. Toni got legal security and a powerful name beside hers. Birdman got to quiet speculation and project a more traditional image. And while Tamar hasn't spelled that out word for word, her cryptic comments make fans think she's absolutely hinting at it. But here's what really makes this story sting. Maybe it wasn't a stunt. Maybe it was just two people trying to fill the same emptiness from different sides. Toni's been battling lupus, shifting her career, and facing life in the spotlight while aging gracefully but visibly. Birdman's been chasing redemption, trying to reshape his image, maybe even settle down for real. They both might have wanted stability, just not with each other. Maybe they tried to force something that never fit. And within 48 hours, it cracked. Did Toni play the game, or did they both lose? Drop your thoughts down below, because I'm reading all of them. If you love deep dives like this, messy Hollywood romances, industry secrets, and family feuds, make sure you smash that like button, hit subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss another sip of the hottest celebrity tea.